We solopreneurs often want to have a system in our schedules, like having a morning routine or a daily routine, or having a weekly template for how we schedule our times, like a pattern. And we often fail at that, and then start blaming ourselves, like, I'm not cut out for this. I just can't do that. I'm not that organized. And this is the beauty of being our own bosses. The good news is I I I want to share with you that it's 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 not your fault. It's not, and you're not alone with that. So what actually happens is we come up with a system. We, let's say, each morning I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes and then write content for an hour. And we start doing that, and then we somehow start dropping it. And it's because you start the morning but feel like you should be doing something else, and so you start working on that, and then you're frustrated because then you didn't do your content writing and meditation. And usually these are much more complex than just 10 minutes of meditation and half an hour of writing. But it's like, I start the morning with that, and right after that I spend half an hour on my bookkeeping, and then I take 2 hours for clients, and then I go and work on my website, and I will do this every Monday, and every Tuesday the system is the following. So we have these complex systems and they start not working, and we panic, we abandon them, and we blame ourselves for that. But what actually is happening in here, as with everything in life, it has a learning curve. We come up with something, it's not going to be perfect the first time. So when it starts failing, the next correct thing to do would be not to blame ourselves and panic, but to spend some time on figuring out why it's not working and how it's not working. Maybe I want to meditate in the mornings first, but my head is just so full of creative ideas until I spent an hour writing content and those ideas are out of my head. And then I feel like I can meditate. Or right after that, I want to do my bookkeeping, but I don't know, my financial info only comes in every Thursday. This is just stupid ideas, but like there's always a reason like that why these don't work, or why we abandon them, why we feel like it's not comfortable. I'm not, I shouldn't be doing this right now. I should be doing that right now. Then let's take a look at that system and see, oh, when I should have been doing my bookkeeping, I felt like I don't have enough information and I'd rather be working on that. Okay, so from now on, what I'm going to experiment with is I'm going to do that instead on Monday mornings and do my bookkeeping on Thursdays. And of course, there is, it's not just, there is no guarantee, but it's almost guaranteed that that new system will also not work at some point. And this is just how it goes. We need to run loads of experiments to figure out what works for us. It's so when we fail at these, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't have systems, because we should. It makes creates a much calmer state of mind, and this way we can be sure that we are making progress. And it also doesn't mean, when we fail at these, it doesn't mean that it's just a problem with us personally. Now everyone struggles with these, and it's experimentation for everyone. If it works for someone, it's not because they just sit down, started doing that and it worked. but they spend some time experimenting and refining and redesigning. And that's how they come to the place when everything is already working for them. So first step is to not to panic when this happens. And the second step is to separate some time, even if that time is not in your plan. Take some time, and while you taking that some time off to figure this out, start putting that time for reflecting on your systems and why they work and why they not work, a scheduling system, into plan the time into the time. You need time to reflect on those and redesign and refine and set goals for the next experiment. And of course, it's actually never going to be a final thing. Our lives are changing continuously and ongoingly. Families' needs are changing, your personal preferences are changing, your business is changing. So you will always, even when you found the structure that works for you really well, we still need some time to reflect on those and to realign and redesign and replan. And this way, it's a lifelong process of experiments and experimenting. So I hope that mindset will help you. It certainly was the key for me for having working systems. And it really made a difference between me not being able to do them and make them and blaming myself for them and having them figured out and feel comfortable and work for me. This is all I wanted to share for today. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Peter, and I talk about stuff that usually solopreneurs struggle with, and mainly productivity and technology. And feel free to ask me questions, share your experiences in the comments. Feel free to reach out to me personally. I'm really curious what your challenges are, and I would like to create content that answers your actual questions, not just coming out of my own brain. So thank you again for watching, and most importantly, have a lovely day.